You can study in the morning, you can study at night. You can study outside by a campfire light. You can study with the rabbi.
There are bitter waters in Flint, Michigan. Back in April of 2014, as a cost-cutting measure, the state switched the water supply from Lake Huron to the Flint River. In the process, they would build a new supply line to Lake Huron, but in the meantime, what they didn't realize is that Flint River had a reputation for nastiness. And on top of that, the pipelines are primarily made of lead. Put those two things together, and lead seeped into the water that was going to Flint, Michigan. And since then, children and adults, men and women, families have been drinking poisoned water, bitter waters. Now, they've switched it back to Lake Huron, but the damage has been done. And we've been hearing about it from all the different presidential candidates, from the governor, from the president himself. We've been hearing about the trauma that has come to Flint, Michigan. And I was thinking about this week's Parsha. The people leave Israel, and they get to a place, and they're thirsty, but the waters are bitter, and they can't drink it. And they complain. They say, Moses, what are we supposed to do? Moses goes to God. God says, take a tree and take a branch from this tree, put it into the water, and it'll change from bitter waters to sweet waters. Were it so easy for us to just change these waters, to just clean them up, to just make them better, that's a biblical miracle, though. In this day and age, it's not that simple. In this day and age, there are going to be lasting consequences because of the decisions that the state of Michigan made. And a number of people have wondered, how could this happen? How can elected officials allow something like this to happen? Some have suggested that it's because Flint, Michigan is majority African American. And had this happened in a white community, if young white children and perhaps upper middle class or middle class children were drinking this water, that the officials never would have let it happen. Whatever drove them to make the decisions and not pay attention to the evidence that was before them, they cannot just wave a magic wand. They cannot just take a branch and put it into the water and make it better. This is going to be a long process. And we need people to yell out, to scream out, to complain as the Israelites did and say, we cannot drink this water. You have to make this right, our elected officials of Flint, Michigan. You have to fix this problem. We must hold them accountable as the Israelites held Moses accountable. That is our responsibility, whether or not we live in Flint.
We're talking Torah. Talking Torah.